Watching the Orioles. Watching the Orioles. Watching the Orioles.
Welcome back to Bird's Eye View. When it comes to the Orioles, this weekly podcast is your official source for a lack of insight and for baseless opinions. Today is November 13th, 2025, and this is episode 418. My name is Jake English.
And I'm Scott Magnus.
And after a vote to reopen the podcast, we've reconvened to handle a little non-essential business.
We're also going to lay down and fold for Nathan Skidmore of The Dishwasher. He's going to tell us all about the rubric that he's put together for the offseason. And it's at that point that it's time to lubricate the show, Jake. It's time for the drink of the week. Jake, what are you imbibing on this week?
I am working my way through a bullet bourbon this evening. Oh boy, what a beer.
That's very manly of you.
Well, yeah.
Is it because it's wintertime now?
That and the fact that my voice has been a little rough this week.
Oh, so bourbon was like the choice of like, hey, nothing bring the vocal cords back like bourbon.
One last glorious gasp this evening.
So I'm doing a Grove City Hefeweizen from, I like to call it Roar. I've been told it's RAR.
Nah, it's Roar.
But I'm going to go with Roar.
From where would you say that Roar is?
From whatever your vocal cords are putting out tonight, basically.
The answer we were looking for was 34, but that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. If you're interested to see what we are drinking on a inning by inning basis, oh no, we're not doing that anymore.
No.
Come find us on Untapped. I'm at Jake E4025,
and I'm at MAGN8606. And with that, let's go ahead and break it down in so many characters this week in Mr. Blue Sky.
The first is a question I have for you, Scott, and that is this: are we philosophically participating?
I think we absolutely are philosophically participating.
I ask this because a skeet from Andy Costa reads as follows. Mike Elias said yesterday the Orioles will be in the mix on Japanese market. Quote, if you're an East Coast team, it's a bit of a disadvantage, but I think with Sagano, we've demonstrated that we can be a destination, and we're going to keep working on that, end quote. Is that what we proved?
Listen, if I've learned anything, it's those East Coast boys are hip.
No, I thought it was West End girls.
No, East Coast.
East Coast. Why? Will the Orioles post ever?
No, they will never post.
I cannot imagine. I don't know. We'll talk a little bit about the optics that have been working lately. All the right noises, but does it amount to much?
Yeah. Jake, let's talk about real baseball, because you can't find it on this podcast, but you can find it in another podcast. This next skeet comes from Roar from 34. You can find them at Roar from 34. The latest I Was There episode, a single tier with guest, fellow Baltimorean, Sam Dingman, is available. We chat about 2131, the power of collective experience, sports as a means of emotional expression, which is a terrible idea, and the merits of cheering for a losing team, which we are really good at. So folks, go to your local podcast repository, whatever it needs to be, preferably not Spotify, and check out Roars from 34's new episode of I Was There. So just type in I Was There, and you will find Roar from 34's podcast. So give it a listen. It's a really good one. Sam does an excellent job at pulling at your heartstrings.
I really enjoy always talking with Matt Taylor. I've been waiting a long time for him to put a podcast together. I think that the fan-centric focus of this and something he does so well, which is just weaving story, is a lot of fun. So if you are an Orioles fan or just a baseball fan or just a fan of Matt's in general. No, if you're a sports fan, I do highly recommend. I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of his guests.
Yeah. There was a sad moment this week, though, and I think we need to recognize it. A really sad moment. This next skeet comes from Earl effing Weaver at bluesky.com. His skeet goes as follows. Paul Tagliabue has died. I hope they use his life insurance to build another museum or something. Let's give a moment of silence. Ready? Oh, sorry.
Very little sympathy.
Very little sympathy. very little sympathy. So again, the rest in peace comes up. They're talking about Tagliabue, and I say something very similar. So it's like, well, let's go build him a museum. And my wife says, why would you say that about somebody? I'm like, honey, You're from Baltimore. Let me give you the gossip.
Because it hurts.
So then I went and saw her father that day because we were going to a party, and I told him about what his daughter had said, and he said, "I'm glad you corrected her. She was misplaced."
Yikes. Speaking of yikes,
Yeah.
we need to address something that happened on the Skeet Box this week on Mr. Blue Sky. Our account seems to have gone rogue.
Okay. It happens sometimes.
It got literary and it got weird.
Uh-oh. I think someone's about to be called out here.
Scotty, usually when it gets literary and it gets weird, it's me.
Yeah, it's because you come from that like liberal school education, right?
This is a Skeet from Bird's Eye View. And it says, I am eager for one of our coaches to do an in-game segment during games like Wayne Kirby did with What's Cooking with Kirby. First, a great idea.
Great idea.
Let me just pause and say,
Great segment.
I love where you're going with this.
Great
I
segment.
feel like you're on the rails.
Yeah, great segment.
Here's where things fall off the rails.
This is where it becomes a mix of Baltimorean / Bird's Eye View territory.
My hope is that it's Jason Bourgeois reading passages from Babbitt in a segment called Rebelling Against Bourgeois.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this idea.
Yeah.
But
It's contemplative. It's reflective of the modern environment that we are in. And it's, really questioning this mentality of these individuals that are capitalists and have all the revenue and wealth. And asking the question, like, is this really a life that we should live and just throw away our dreams and our hopes of everything that we wanted to be in order to satisfy our capitalistic nature of society?
Scotty, I think every time someone reaches first base, we need to have some sort of anti-bourgeoisie revolutionary quotes ready.
Well, that's why it's here. It's like the first one is then it comes down to if someone's on first base, they pan to the first base coach, Jason Bourgeois, and says, thus it came to him merely to run away was folly because he could never run away from himself. It's the perfect, Jackson Holiday if he gets picked off at first base, commentary.
I love this so much. This is what social media was built for. This right here.
I feel like if we wouldn't have done this, Craig Calcaterra would have done this at some point.
I used social media for important things like learning about the Arab Spring and finding out that January 6th was happening. But this eclipses all of that. This is by far the most important thing the internet has given us.
I'm going to refrain from saying what we said before the podcast began for reasons that will probably get me flagged by, well, probably not by the federal government. But anyway, let's continue on.
In that case, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll go around these bases to see what has or has not been happening in Orioles baseball. All right, Scotty, at first base, let's talk. We haven't been together in quite some time behind these microphones. Let's talk about the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Jays, the Dodgers.
Yep.
I went into the playoffs not wanting the Blue Jays
Or the Dodgers.
Those
are your two, those are the two teams I don't want to see. How do you feel that same way with the Yankees?
Well, I would much rather the Blue Jays than the Yankees.
Okay.
I'll say it right now. I won't bury the lead. Any year in which the Yankees do not win the World Series is a victory for humanity.
Yeah, I agree.
If the Yankees' last World Series victory were a person, they could now drive.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I get it. I was born the last year that the Baltimore Orioles won a World Series. I get that. But for the noise that comes out of Yankees fans' mouths,
yep,
they deserve everything about this long, and I mean long, drought.
Yep. If your opinion is the baseball season is only worthwhile if you win a World Series, awesome. Enjoy having agony for the next 50 years.
And look, again, not to not to put too fine a point on it, but go listen to Sam and Matt talk about the difference between Orioles fans and Yankees fans on
Correct.
I was there. A single tear, episode 4. No, so I would have preferred the Blue Jays over the Yankees. But once it was blue on blue crime going to happen in the World Series, I will say the sport got a great series.
Absolutely.
If you didn't have a rooting interest, I think that was, first of all, it went to 7 games.
Yep.
It was compelling baseball. You had big stars on the big stage. You know, Shohei Ohtani put on a show. There's no other way to say it. He was everything you'd hoped he'd be.
Yeah. I mean, I would go even further. I mean, I think Ohtani certainly had moments, but Vlad Guerrero literally was the playoffs.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is that the Blue Jays held their own against this massive Dodgers team that had been assembled to destroy the rest of baseball.
Sure.
Let me ask you this. Have the Dodgers become Yankees level problematic?
So the hot take coming off of the Dodgers winning was like, well, if the Dodgers win, then it's a clear indication that we need a salary cap. This can't continue on, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to go with no. It's not at that level of problematic. The Dodgers obviously are spending money. They are a number 3 major market team. But they also do a really good job with talent scouting, player development, the draft, international standpoints. And again, you can look right at the Mets and be like, the Mets are spending a good amount of money as well. And you look at the delta between the Dodgers organization and the Mets organization, and it's outlandish. So
the Dodgers have Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
The Mets had Cedric Mullins.
Yeah. Well,
the star power was there, Scott.
The star power was there. But the Dodgers are certainly a really good team. But the Dodgers should be what other teams look at and say, I want to try to be at that talent level, and I want to be able to compete in a 7-game series just like the Jays did, and potentially go toe-to-toe and potentially beat them. So, you know, hats off to the Jays. The Jays had an absolutely great season. That was a great series. I watched multiple games. I watched all of Game 7. Frankly, I don't know how you didn't watch Game 7, but like I said, it was a great game. I didn't watch all of that 18-inning marathon, but man, like, it was a great series.
Can we talk about the 18-inning marathon for just a second?
1 second. Let me put a Ghost Runner out there first.
Yeah. You're going to have to put a Ghost Runner up on a soapbox, because that's where I'm going. Yeah. The Ghost Runner rule is awful. And that game is the perfect example.
Yeah.
We, 2 sports fans not from either market, are talking about that game several weeks later.
Sure.
Because it doesn't happen that often. And when it does, it is notable and fun and wacky. And it's uniquely baseball.
Yeah.
I hate that they've taken that away. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the joys of the regular season, just get to the playoffs and you don't have to experience Ghost Runners.
All right. So first base is all about the World Series. The season is officially at an end. That brings us to the off season. Let's make the turn, head into second base. And let's just say this, we've got a manager.
Yeah.
We've got a manager, and not a name that any of us really could have pulled before it was announced.
I mean, I think there are a few folks that had it in articles and stuff like that, so I'll give those folks credit. But certainly not one of the top favorites for the betting odds, but yeah.
Wait a minute, is there betting associated with Major League Baseball?
Just on first pitches.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes more sense. Okay, so Craig Alvernaz has taken the helm. He is the Baltimore Orioles' next manager.
Yep.
I'll ask you right now, make the determination. Awful hire, bad hire, okay hire, good hire, excellent hire.
I'm going to go with good hire right now. I like this hire better than the original Brandon Hyde hire. And that's what I kind of aim it up to. I remember when Brandon Hyde was hired, and I'm like, not sure I'm feeling this. Alvarez has a little bit of a spark and a personality, in my opinion. I like that he's coming from the Guardians organization, which means that he's very familiar with the kind of a mid-market team. I like some of the stuff that I've seen from him. I like that I love the press conference with the kids and the family. You wrote a very elegant Skeet thread that I thought was amazing. But yeah, like I said, I think it's a good hire. We're going to have to see how he does with managing for his first time. But I'm here to say good hire. My initial gut feeling was it's a better hire than when Brandon Hyde was first hired. It just seems like it's a little bit more, I don't know, autonomous.
The thing that strikes me about him is that he seems to both be a guy who embraces data as well as a player developer type.
Yeah.
But the thing that really jumped out at me is that his pedigree, once I figured out who the heck this guy was, his pedigree goes back to working with pitchers and catchers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at this team, that's going to be important. Working with young pitchers and catchers is going to be huge for the future, or at least the short-term future of this team. So just that, forgetting all the rest of it, is good.
One call that I'll make on to, like, at the press conference, and I thought this was a really cool moment. I thought it was really cool that Stephen Vogt, manager of the Guardians, came out and sat in the front row. That just shows you the friendship, the camaraderie, and just the mutual respect that is the small dynamic of baseball. I don't think you have to read too much into that, but that's just a cool moment.
The other thing I thought about when he was introduced in that press conference is, again, I thought back to when Hyde was introduced, but I also went back to when Buck was introduced. And I think part of the, I think part of the impression that you and I share when Brandon Hyde was introduced is that we had been spoiled, I think, by the fact that Buck was a known quantity before he got here. He was known in not only in the baseball community, but by baseball fans because of his work, on ESPN, but also having managed in the league for quite some time. And he came in and immediately had a presence.
Correct.
That you took notice of.
Yep.
And he was a big personality guy. Brandon Hyde comes in. He's not a big personality guy. He doesn't have any of that cachet. He doesn't have any of that reputation. And so you're like, ugh. I thought that Craig Albernaz was kind of in the middle.
I agree.
In the fact that he came in, I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know that his position, his title of associate manager existed before I saw it in print. But what I did take note of is in a room with Mike Elias and with David Rubenstein, he had command presence.
Correct.
Right. He was a personality, and not in a way that rubbed me the wrong way, despite his New England accent. Right. He had a command presence, which I think is great, and I hope that will, serve us all well with the ball club, as well as the post game, which is how we as fans enter into a one-way relationship with the manager. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he puts together his part of the club. And I think that's kind of where I want to go next, right? Because we know that some coaches have left, some coaches are staying, which that's the piece I'm most surprised about. And then we've got some new names. So coaches that are out, right? We've got Tony Manzolino, not a surprise.
Yep.
Thank you for your service, sir. Anthony Sanders is out as first base coach. He's landed already in Detroit. Robinson Trinos, the former bench coach in the interim territory, now out. I'll be interested to see if or where he lands.
Sure.
I was really delighted that he came back into the organization, and I hope good things for him in baseball moving forward.
Yep.
And then we've got Cody Ash, the former hitting coach or co-hitting coach, who landed in Detroit, and then Sherman Johnson and Tommy Joseph, who were assistant hitting coaches.
Yep.
Also all gone.
All gone.
Coaches returning. We've got Drew French.
Okay. That does not shock me.
Why? Because it's Drew French, it's Ryan Klimek, and the bullpen coach Mitch Plasmeyer, all returning. Why does that not surprise you?
I think it's all because, like, if you looked at what Drew French was doing before he became the pitching coach, he was in charge of strategy for pitching development. So it does not surprise me that the Orioles organization is saying, we want you to keep Drew French on because, either he's going to have a job as your pitching coach or we're going to keep him on and he's going to tell your pitching coach what to do. So it does not shock me because Drew French is held in pretty high regard in that organization.
Do you think that that's a benefit for Craig Albernaz, or do you think that ties his hands?
I think it's a benefit because I think he's going to already have his hands full with the rest of the coaches he needs to bring in and get up to speed. So I think it's good that French will be there to acclimate going forward.
All right, we've also got Buck Britton remaining in the organization. I was not sure that was going to happen.
I'm not sure. I didn't think it was going to happen either. And I'll be interested to see what he actually is going to assign to. I mean, he was obviously the third base coach for half of the season last year. Is he going to be the third base coach with Jason Bourgeoisie or not? I'm glad to see Buck Britton staying, but I'll be interested to see how Buck Britton is used.
And I said stay in the organization. He very well could have been given another position, not at the major league level. New coaches, we've got Donnie Ecker coming in as the bench coach, Dustin Lind as the hitting coach, and he came from, Philly?
That sounds right, yes.
And then the aforementioned Jason Bourgeois.
Yeah, it's Bourgeois. It's Bourgeois. Don't add the E. It's just Bourgeois. I just messed up there. I put the E on there because, what can I say? I'm a member of the proletariat.
We're going to make that mistake all season. Looking at the staff, the question becomes, what does it all mean? And we'll see.
Yeah, I think the most interesting hire to date has been Dustin Lind. He's a geeky geek, is the best way to describe it. Like, he is huge on the aspect of kinesiology, but also if you look back at 8 years ago, he was doing a bunch of statistical analysis. He was doing a bunch of GIFs in terms of like swing patterns. He's a big proponent of bat speed mechanics with kinesiology standpoints. So again, if you look at members of this team that are young and are hitting significant bat speed right now, I think Dustin Lind is the perfect guy for some of those guys. So like, I think pairing him with Samuel Basayo is going to be a dream come true.
I thought you were talking about Tyler O'Neill.
Well, that's possible too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out. And when you said he's a geeky geek, does that mean that he's Red Babbitt?
That's a good question. Maybe someone can ask him that in the future.
Well, let's head over to third base. And third base, I want to talk Trevor Rogers. Because here's the thing about Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers received a Cy Young Award vote.
Wow.
Came in 9th place.
When's the last Oriole that received a Cy Young vote?
I don't know. Could have been Jim Palmer.
No, it's not.
It's not. I mean, did Corbin Burns receive it?
I don't think he did.
Cy Young?
The only one I can remember.
Mike Messina?
Nope, you're missing one between Messina.
Eric Bedard?
Eric Bedard received a Cy Young vote.
Oh, man. That is... What does it say? No, don't answer. Don't answer what it says about our franchise that we can't remember the last pitcher who received a.
Yeah.
So Trevor Rogers received a Cy Young Award vote. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good thing.
Except
he was a Baltimore writer.
Yeah, it was Rock. It's not even a Baltimore writer. It's an Orioles writer employed by the Baltimore Orioles. So that they can come back and say, hey, we have a top of the rotation starter. He even received a Cy Young vote. It's Trevor Rogers.
Let me ask you this.
A Cy Young contender.
Does Trevor Rogers...
So deemed by Rock Kabako, employed by our staff.
Does Trevor Rogers deserve a 5th place vote by a single writer who has a Cy Young vote?
Absolutely.
Does it cheapen the fact that it's one of ours?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I'm surprised by that answer.
No, I don't think it cheapens it whatsoever. I think that Trevor Rogers clearly deserves a Cy Young vote. And I think this gets into the perennial standpoints of like, did Aroldis Chapman deserve to have as many Cy Young votes thrown to him as possible? No, but people are going to be like, well, I want to recognize the best reliever in the game, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a 4th or 5th place start. So if Trevor Rogers would have pitched a full season, he would have easily been there for 1, 2, or 3. Since he came back and only pitched 15 starts, I think it was, he's going to not get the full recognition that he was going to get.
Are we still talking about Rock's ballot or just in general?
No, I'm talking about in general.
Okay.
I'm talking about in general. So I think Trevor Rogers absolutely deserved a 5th place vote from not even Rock, but a few other members as well.
Now, this is the second time the Bevies is going to be name dropped on this show.
Mm-hmm. Spoiler.
Let me ask you this. Who is your award winner for next year's Trevor Rogers Award? This is basically your dark horse. This is your rags to riches, its biggest surprise, without knowing what the roster is going to look like right now. Because honestly, you could pick anybody. Anybody at all in Major League Baseball or in the international market, or somebody that's on the roster now. Your options are endless. Okay. Who is your 2026 Trevor Rogers Award November award winner?
Sure. So I'm just going to go stay local, and I'm just going to go with Grayson Rodriguez.
Oh, love that pick.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it's this kind of standpoint of like it's a comeback story. You're kind of writing them off, just like we wrote Trevor Rogers off and been like, he's not going to be much of anything. And I'm going to go with Grayson and say like Grayson is going to have probably not a Cy Young season, but he maybe comes back and has some really nice appearances, and maybe he gets a singular vote for the Cy Young Award from Rockabacco once again in 2026.
Love it. My Trevor Rogers Award winner is going to be Gigi Albertaz.
Ooh, I like it.
I think she's going to be running the show. I think she is going to be making baseball operations decisions come the trade deadline.
Yeah. Are you allowed to take a plush Oriole to the mound?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can take it anywhere you want.
Wherever she wants.
And everything else stops when that happens. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and slide into home plate. At home, I just want to acknowledge the obvious. It's November.
Yeah.
Right? This is the dead zone of the offseason. It should be that nothing is happening. And the only reason that we have any excitement at all is that the team was so bad that they had to replace their manager.
Mm-hmm.
But it's November. Nothing is happening. And to that end, the Orioles are trying to fill the space with a little bit of news, you know, give you a little bit of pizzazz.
Little tease of what's going to happen and all the moves that are going to be made.
And so one of the things that they've done is they have announced it's the holiday season. They're going to have a holiday voucher pack. $99 will get you, is it 6 games?
6 vouchers.
6 vouchers.
6 vouchers. So for $100, you get 6 vouchers. So it works out to be, what, $17 or something like that, give or take. Maybe a little bit more than that. But yeah, you get a package of 6 tickets for $17 to $18 per ticket.
Now listen, we have said some uncharitable things about the Orioles.
Sure.
In the past. We've said some uncharitable things about the Orioles in this offseason as it relates to decisions they've made about tickets and packages and all that stuff. But I will say that in the past, we have begged the Orioles to give us options at the holidays. Give us a holiday package, because there used to be a small ticket package, like 5 games or something like that.
Yes, a 5-game plan.
Sold at the holidays, and it was great. I think this is a return to that. And so in a vacuum, I think this is fine.
I tend to agree with you. I think in a vacuum, it's fine. I'm a little annoyed because we as season ticket holders bought season tickets, and obviously it's for the entire season, and our average cost was $23 to $24, and now they're offering tickets for $17 per ticket. So that bothers me a smidge, but it is what it is. If you get more people out to the park in April and May, great.
I think they should give fans every opportunity to buy into the team, to buy into the experience, to buy into the summer of Orioles baseball in whatever way they can.
Fair.
And dropping $100 and getting 6 vouchers.
Yep.
Great.
And as I posted on Blue Sky, it's going to be great for the Red Sox and the Yankees fans that are going to come in April and May.
Goodness gracious.
It's why are you the way you are?
But the thing is you're not incorrect. And that's the thing that makes me angry.
Yeah. They're going to love it. They're going to be like, look how cheap these tickets are.
Are there blackout dates? Tell me there are blackout dates.
There are no blackout
dates.
dates.
We couldn't trade our season tickets for weekend games in September. You telling me that Yankees and Red Sox fans can buy whatever they want with this ho, ho, ho holiday package?
It's ho, 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 merry. Yep, absolutely. No blackout dates.
Scott, this makes me the sad clown.
Yeah.
But that's not all.
That's not all. There's more.
The Orioles have also given us a little something.
Yeah.
A little sprinkling of news in this dead zone. They released a bit or the entirety. I don't know. The entirety of the 2026 promotional schedule. And you know that we love promotional items. What is on there that makes you feel right?
All right. So let's talk about the first big one, which is the Hawaiian shirts are back.
Nice.
Just like last year, there's 2 days, but now there's a third day. And on the third day, they're going to give children's size Hawaiian shirts. Because why not have your kids dress up just like you in a Hawaiian shirt?
I love this. So
against the Braves, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and for Sunday, it's the children's game. You get to come in, and for the younger fans on the Sunday game, you can get a Hawaiian shirt for the younger fans. All
right. Traditional adult-sized Hawaiian shirts will be handed out on both July 24th and 25th, the 26th, for the kids.
Yep.
Love it. Hot dog race caps.
That's not a real thing. Let's not even.
The Orioles have gone all in on the hot dog race.
Yeah.
First, it was just digital.
Yep.
Now there are corporeal hot dogs.
Yep.
Racing. They have the shirts, and people love the shirts.
They do love the shirts.
Now, there's a restaurant. I don't want to blow up their spot here. There's a restaurant here in Bel Air that has Orioles condiment shirts for sale, and I'm always wondering what degree of legality that is. But yeah, people show up all the time in Orioles condiment shirts.
Do you know why? You know this is why the Orioles are going all in on the hot dog race, right?
I'm terrified of the answer, but please tell me.
I'm very disappointed with you. Jake, if you were to look at the financial holdings of the Carlyle Group, you would know specifically that one of their major holdings is actually in Tyson Foods, which makes Ballpark, Jimmy Dean, and Hillshire Farms hot dogs. This is clearly an indication for David Rubenstein to push forward the stock of Tyson Foods by bringing forth another generation of supporting mass slaughter of animals for consumption.
I think you're looking at this the wrong way. and frankly, all this
Literally, frankly.
and good night.
Night.
I think you're looking at this the wrong way. I know that there is some official ballpark Frank now.
Mhm.
Is it Dietz and Watson?
I think that's a long time ago. I don't think it's Dietz and Watson.
Well, I'm going to go back even further. It used
Based
to
off
be-
of Dietz and Watson's recent food safety issues, I do not think it's Dietz and Watson.
It's 2025. It's not safe to eat anything.
Yeah. I know it was like Uncle Charlie's there for a while.
Uncle Charlie's. But it used to be synonymous. Orioles and SK, used to be one breath.
Yep.
Taste the difference, quality
Quality
mix. Right?
It's SK.
Used to absolutely, there were SK ballpark Franks. Had the Baltimore Oriole,
Of course.
right on.
And
it.
if you did not go to the grocery store and your parents came back without the orange or the black package with the swinging Oreo bird on it, you told them to go back to the grocery store and get the right hot dogs.
The fact that they do not have a partnership that is all over this hot dog thing that they've built, it's madness. It's madness to me.
I mean, there's other issues with the hot dog race specifically, and your wife has brought this to my attention. Where are the grill marks? I see no grill marks. So clearly, these are not grilled hot dogs. These are broiled hot dogs.
Or these are hot dogs running to escape the grill.
They're already in buns. They already have condiments on them. Are we serving raw dogs?
I think this is a tale of sadness.
Are we raw dogging it?
Jesus. Oh, jeez. Well, that's it. We had a good run. 418 episodes. That was a fun. Okay, so Hawaiian shirts, raw dogging hats. What else is the promotional schedule all about? There is a Star Wars weekend.
Yeah, I think they're
Scotty.
giving away another bobblehead, which I think is a Jordan Westberg one bobblehead this
It
year.
is Jordan Westberg bobblehead.
Yeah.
I think they're missing a golden opportunity. There needs to be some sort of Lego tie-in here.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what it is. Maybe a giveaway isn't the right thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a contest. There needs to be some way in which Orioles fans can engage with their favorite players and their Lego obsessions, their Star Wars
I agree.
Lego obsessions. I'll be perfectly honest with you. When it comes to bobbleheads,
Yeah.
I'm not a big bobblehead
No.
guy. There's going to be a Samuel Basayo bobblehead.
That'll be fun. I think this is the one big bobblehead is the one that you're currently looking at, which is the Jackson Holiday and Coconut bobblehead. This one is going to be super popular.
Didn't Chris Davis and his dog appear in some sort of giveaway?
He did, because I think he was a superhero, and then I think that he had his dog with him as well or something.
This is
like
a
that.
bobblehead?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the Jackson Holiday Coconut bobblehead is going to be super popular for the greater population. But again, you've got bobbleheads, you've got jerseys, you've got the dad cap giveaway that's always going to happen. You've got flappy hat giveaways as well. I wouldn't say there was anything that I was just like, oh wow, this is dramatically different. There was one standpoint, which I don't think is like astronomically different, but you know that the Orioles have given away pride jerseys before, but you have to buy an additional package. The Orioles will be giving away pride jerseys as part of their giveaway packages, but you will not require an additional ticket. As long as you attend the game, you will receive the promotional item.
Pride night, by the way, great night.
Great night.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. I just look forward to seeing that scheduled with the Texas Rangers.
Yes.
As always. You know, it's fun. I think I saw another, was it a hockey sweater
Yes.
on the schedule?
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for the clothes.
Mhm.
I'm big on the clothes. The thing about a good giveaway to me is something that will walk out of the ballpark and will be part of the city, right? It will be part of the town, it will be part of the area. Something where you look at it and you say, I was at that game.
Yeah.
I was there. I love that. That's the kind of thing I love.
And our wives love it too, because it makes sorting the laundry so much easier. So that, you know, they can be like, oh, it's orange. It's my husband's.
They do not love that.
Yeah.
They do not love that at all. All right. That is around the bases here in a quiet November. I say we take a quick break
Mhm.
and maybe go back to school a little bit. See if we can get a passing grade.
Jake, as we enter into the off season, it's the time where dreams can be had of what is going to happen, what is not going to happen. And this is something that kind of got us into podcasting back in the day. I remember reading articles on things like Cannon Depot and Cannon Chat in terms of what was the plan for the Baltimore Orioles offseason, and then folks, from users to anybody putting out articles. And I came across one that we follow, which is Nathan Skidmore, who skeets at The Dishwasher. And we wanted to invite him on to talk about an article he just recently posted to thedishwasher.blog talking about the Orioles off-season rubric. So, Nathan, thanks so much for joining us and talking to us about the Orioles off-season.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's my favorite thing to talk about in the world.
I mean, there's really nothing. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about in the world of baseball. So why don't we just pontificate on the randomness that is probably not going to happen? So, since you've posted this blog, Mike Elias has come out of the GM meetings and weighed in on this topic, and he has indicated that he has put together a wish list that includes a frontline starter, a back-end reliever with closing experience. He had to put that out there. And then a veteran hitter. Based off of the article that you wrote and based off of what Mike Elias has put out there for his, we'll call it holiday/Christmas wish list, what are your general impressions in regards to your grading system?
So he kind of broke the rules as far as what the grades could be, because I put 2+ relievers
Correct.
for like every grade down to make it a passing grade, because the bullpen is in such a state. I went back and I reacted to the headlines, like all emotional, like I do. And then I went back and read the articles, and he never said that was all he was going to do.
Right.
So, but if he kind of hit those bullet points of like strong top end starter, back of the bullpen reliever, and solid bat, that fits my B+ description, which is kind of lowest grade with a top end starter, which is honestly right about when I was writing it, right about where I expect him to settle.
Okay. And when you kind of put that B+ out there, you basically had said that a B+ would allow the Orioles to kind of compete for a division. You could win a wild card series. And it kind of lines up with what you said, like your requirements for a B+ as it relates to your rubric, because me and Jake both are married to teachers. So we are all about the rubric. We literally get rubrics every single day, and we don't do so well.
We do not meet them, but we do receive
them. But we do receive them. And your rubric for that B+ was 1 top of the rotation starting pitcher, 2+ proven bullpen arms, 1 veteran bench bat, and 1 right-handed fourth outfielder, which I think you're right. I think that kind of lines up pretty close to being what Mike Elias has kind of indicated at that point. You mentioned you kind of thought that's where the Orioles would line out at the end of the offseason in a realistic time frame. As a fan, because, obviously if you have an Orioles blog, you're a fan,
Mm-hmm.
Where does that lead you kind of going into the 2026 season? Are you happy with that performance? Or are you just like, I wish a little bit more would have been done?
I think that particular outcome where there's one big pitcher leaves you wanting a little bit, because when I look at the rotation, like it seems pretty incomplete to me. But just the idea of getting one really good pitcher is very exciting. I think when you look back at the offseason between 2023 and 2024, adding Corbin Burns really made up for an offseason where they did almost nothing else. It would just be such a relief if they managed to pull off that move, because deep down there's this fear where it's like, we're going to end the offseason and it's going to be, we traded for Yusei Kikuchi, or something worse. And so it would just be a weight off my shoulders if we got in that first number 1 starter.
You talking about emotionally reacting to the headlines. I do that kind of stuff all the time. And I've been thinking a little bit about why I have such a negative set of emotions about this particular offseason. And I was so, angry about last offseason. And I haven't quite been able to put it together. But I think that with what you just said, something hit me in the fact that last offseason, when they did nothing, when they totally abdicated on an offseason, it was particularly painful because it was the offseason after they went out and got Corbin Burns, right? It was the first time that they went out and did the damn thing. And I would say that for a team that had a pretty good nucleus, failing doing anything else in the offseason, going out and getting a frontline starter, the thing they actually needed, was great, right? It was a great sign. And you're like, wow, Mike Elias is using all of these assets that he's been hoarding to actually make the team better in a way. Gosh, we wish they'd spend money, but if they're not going to spend money, at least they're going to get us a Corbin Burns. And then when it came to 2024, or I guess 25 last offseason, to do nothing was just spit in the face. And so now I think I'm at the spot where I can't afford to believe that these Orioles are going to do the thing that they ought to do. And look, that doesn't say good things about me. That does not say good things about my personality or the way that I follow sports. But what do you think? Is this a pivotal offseason not only for the Orioles to be able to continue to compete in a small window, but also from a fan PR standpoint?
I think it is a very important offseason. I feel like I relate a lot to what you're saying about disappointing last offseason was, because like through the years I've had qualms with the way Mike Elias has decided to do things, but like overall I had kind of believed in the approach of like, okay, we're building towards this future, there's going to be sustainable. When they did nothing at the deadlines in 2023 and did some stuff in 2024, it was like, well, like they're going to keep, we're going to get sustainable winning in the future. And then the future came and we missed the playoffs. And it's like, what was the point of not going all in on those years if we're going to be bad in the future anyway? And so, yeah, it was really disappointing that they didn't do anything in last offseason. And this offseason, yeah, very important that they don't have a repeat of last year.
It's so important that you decided to write about it. And Scotty mentioned the rubric, again, a term we're somewhat familiar with. Talk to us a little bit about how you built the rubric. How did you make the decision between what is success, sort of successful, and a complete failure? Because I feel like we all know what complete failure looks like. We've seen this story before. But
we took our $100 to Dollar General and said, hey, I spent that $100 buying a bunch of junk at Dollar General with my money.
And I got all these magic beans. They're great.
They're great.
These magic beans. But yeah, when you sat down and thought about it, like how did you break it down and why did it, why did you make those choices?
Yeah. The idea from it actually kind of came from you guys posting those. It's that Google sheet, right, that you guys have.
Yes, you don't. Jake doesn't know anything about Google Sheets.
That's
but
Scotty.
That's me.
I know what a Google sheet is.
Okay, yeah, and I made a reference to it actually in the post where that's where I read the Orioles on the Verge guys, like their dream offseason, and I saw that you guys had made that, and I wanted to participate. I tried to start, and I was like, I just don't care specifically who it is.
Correct.
I just need the role filled. My enthusiasm for Framber Valdez versus Dylan Cease is like
1A, 1B.
Just get one of them. Yeah, like if you pressed me, I would pick one. Like I don't have no opinion. Like I was reading some of the offseason you guys had compiled there, and I was like, that's great. I read the next one, like, this is awesome. And so I was like, let me just kind of lay out what I think it would take for me to feel good. And so as far as what it's going to take for it to be good, so kind of starting with the rotation, they really need that number one starter. Like I look at who's in there right now, and it's a very incomplete set. If you take out Dean Kramer and you look at everyone else that they have slated to make starts, in everyone's career combined, there's one season over 162 innings. There's just nothing that can really be relied upon. As excited as I am to get Kyle Bradish back, who I really like, and as fun as it was to watch Trevor Rogers pitch this year, I think it's a little bit foolish to be like, well, those are our tentpole guys that are holding up the rotation. Yeah. It's been, they combined for one full season in their entire careers, and they're pretty far into their careers now.
It's a pyrite rotation. Absolutely.
And then, I was reading the Elias quotes coming out of the GM meetings, and he had the audacity to mention Grayson Rodriguez and Tyler Wells. He did walk it back and was like, well, we can't really rely on Grayson, so credit to him.
Super relievers, Tyler Wells and Grayson Rodriguez.
Yeah, and when Tyler Wells is on the mound, I feel good about it. I like him out there, but I think he gave us his best shot in 2023. That was the best he could do as a starter. And it's just his arm couldn't make it through.
I love Tyler Wells in 80 innings in a season. That's where I feel really good about it. But when someone comes out and says he's going to be a starter, I'm like, how is Tyler Wells ever going to get to 150 plus innings? It's I can't even fathom it in my head at this point.
I love 5 outs 3 times a week.
Tyler of course.
Wells. Yeah. That's the guy that's going to get us to the next level. Yeah. I'm sorry. So yes. No, yeah. The answer is yes.
I think that's
we
a
agree.
Role for Wells.
So the rotation you just don't believe in, right?
Well, it's not that I don't believe in them. I just think they need reliable options. And I look at the options right now, and it's like, besides Dean Kramer, I don't feel good about anyone making it through next season. If your life depended on Trevor Rogers pitching 162 innings, you'd be nervous.
And again, it comes back to the point that we made, Jake, at the end of last offseason, where this could work, but it's going to have to thread the needle. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you have to kind of take a page from the Dodgers playbook partially. You can't be the Dodgers, but you can never have too much starting pitching. So go get additional starting pitching. You've got the folks like a Cade Povich or a Grayson Rodriguez or Tyler Wells that you potentially could slot in as a 6 or 7 starter if you truly need it, if someone goes on the IL. But you need to be able to go into the playoffs in October saying, here are 3 guys that we can call on in any series. And just like we saw in the World Series, we can call on these additional starters, even if they are not well rested, to come in and be elite relievers in pivotal moments.
What I'm hearing you say is that the Orioles are top half in the league in their rotation from spots 6 through 10.
What I'm saying is, if you have $100 million to spend, go spend it on top tier superstar talent. Don't say we want depth with a bunch of $10 to $15 million guys. If you're going to go all in and go big.
What if instead of spending $100 million, we let you sit in really expensive premium experience seats to watch a terrible team?
I'm fine with that as long as I get to see Dylan Cease or Framber Valdez. So we talked about, Nathan, this B plus grade. I think when we were in school, a B plus would be good, but we were always looking to maybe get a little extra credit on outside of free agent signings or waiver pickups or trade deadlines. What is something that the Orioles could do for you to get a little extra credit to entice them to basically move your grade from a B plus to an A?
Well, they've done some good things already. Like I really like the Craig Alberniz hire. I think that had happened when I wrote this, so it's hard to give them credit for it. But I really like that, and I like the coaching hires that they've made since then. I've appreciated that it seems like there's going to be a mix of some of Albernez's guys, people he has relationships with and that he wanted to bring in, and some of the coaches that have been here, like Buck Britton and Drew French, who I think are good coaches, are guys that the players really like. I actually saw some people a little upset at Drew French returning. I don't think it's his fault what happened with the pitcher. In fact, I think they did a really good job. He got Charlie Morton back on track. Correct. When that was going off the rails. I don't know how much he had to do with Trevor Rogers, but that was miraculous.
I'm sure that I'm sure French had some role to play in terms of working with Driveline to set up a throwing program for him to get that velocity back. I mean, he didn't design the entire program with Driveline, but I'm sure that he gave some guidance in terms of what they were looking for him to do last winter.
Well, and Trevor Rogers has said, and maybe it's just, some of the best pandering in the game, but in post-game interviews...
Which you love, by the way.
Yes, I do. Trevor Rogers does the best pandering, fan pandering. He gets an A+ from me on fan pandering, but he has said in interviews, the Orioles fixed me. They provided me all the resources. They went out and got me. They wanted me. They gave me resources. They helped me resurrect my career. I don't think he said they fixed me, but basically that's the sentiment. He really feels like he got something out of being a Baltimore Oriole, and so when you look at it, hopefully Drew French, in his organizational role beyond the pitching coach, has something to do with that. We can only hope.
And to me, Nathan, that's probably my extra credit. I mean, I know you didn't have it in your rubric, but my extra credit would be if the Orioles went out and extended someone like Trevor Rogers to an additional 2 years or 3 years, and that's probably my extra credit. Okay, they can't be the only move, but if you're in that 88 to 89 territory, I might bump you up to a 90 if you gave me a Trevor Rogers extension in addition to some of the moves that you've made.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did not include extensions in there. That would have been a great thing to have.
You're not thinking that far outside the box. Let me ask you this, Nathan. How would you feel about the Orioles moving the left field wall this offseason? Would that move the needle for you?
I was thinking about it because you DM'd me that question, extra credit, and a similar thought. I was like, move the right field wall back.
There you go. Move the warehouse in.
Yeah. So lots of funny stuff they could do there.
The Orioles, I feel like, went through a period where they were doing so many things well off the field. They were resurgent on the field. They were winning for the first time in too long. And in addition to that, they seem to be doing so many things off the field well. When they're not performing well on the field, and when they're making, at least last offseason, what I would call criminally negligent decisions in the offseason as far as personnel is concerned, it's also really easy to pile on with some of the other stuff that they're doing. I already lashed out emotionally about the premium club section that they're putting in the ballpark. They claim they're finally going to fix the sound. They're going to increase the size of the scoreboard. I'd be interested to see, once this offseason is over, how I feel about some of the other stuff that they're doing off the field. That's the kind of extra credit stuff I think about, which is I'm so pissed that this team I love so much for letting me down for all these years and then having this golden opportunity and seeming want to squander it, that maybe I'm not giving them enough credit for the things that they are doing well, or maybe, I was raised Catholic and guilt and shame are just an important part of my life. And I can't tell which is true.
I told you guys before we started recording, like I'm out of state, so I miss out on a lot of those. But it is really disappointing because I follow a lot of, season ticket holders who are having to move and stuff like that. And it's like, the team could at least be good if they're going to do this. And I think they were planning on it being good when they made plans for all these changes, and then it's hard to course correct. Hopefully the team wins some games, makes the medicine go down a little easier.
The team could at least be good, an Orioles story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. We really enjoyed this piece that you wrote. This is really good. And I know, again, our listeners should run, not walk to their local computer or phone or what have you and read this. But I want to ask you a little bit about the project itself. It's 2025. Blogging, is it back?
I don't think it's back
Are
yet.
the kids blogging?
Not unless there's like 6, 7 on it, but that's a whole nother matter.
So, in a distant day, the Bird's Eye View website included a blog. Did we blog? We blogged.
We blogged.
But we started this show when podcasting was not very common, and it was Orioles blogs.
Before Serial was a thing.
Orioles blogs left and right. It was the golden age of Orioles blogs. And there were so many great voices out there. Matt Taylor from 34. There were the Camden Crazies. There was Camden Depot. Yep. It was Camden Chat.
Camden Chat's still around.
Giving everybody their flowers. No. But what I'm really hoping is that we will have a second golden age of blogging, because I think that voices like yours need to be heard. But what made you finally make the decision to just go ahead and start writing things on the internet?
So for me, it's like I graduated from college in 2022, and so
we're so old, Jake.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The 2023 season was the first year that I was a grown up without homework in a long time or ever. And so I was watching and I'd had the thought, I like writing. So I'd had the thought to do it. And I was watching the Orioles every day. And being an Orioles fan for me as someone that lives out of state is kind of not lonely, but it was a solo venture. Even my friends that like baseball, they don't want to talk about the Orioles as much as I want to talk to them.
Buddy, there have been plenty of nights at Camden Yards where I've felt lonely as an Orioles fan. But go on.
Yeah. So I was like, I have all these thoughts about the Orioles. I don't really want to post on Twitter. I did some joking around on Twitter. I don't want to post any long form content on Twitter. And so I decided that was the best way to go about it. And at first it was literally a secret. For the first 2 seasons I did it, I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell anyone that I was doing it. I didn't post links to it anywhere. And thank goodness, because the first year of blogs are so bad.
We've said the same thing about us when we first started podcasting. We put a podcast out for a full year and did not let anyone know.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Is do it for a full year, total secret.
It allows you to make mistakes in private. It allows people to find you without, feeling like you have to put pressure on your friends to support it.
Yeah. And eventually I did tell some friends once I got a little more confident with it. And then I made a Blue Sky account, kind of right when it started, because I was fine leaving Twitter. And then I got over there and nothing was really happening. So I just left it. And then the stuff on Twitter was just getting real crazy, just not a nice place to be. And so I was let me go on to Blue Sky. There's a few more people on it. And I was you know what? These seem like nice people that I'm seeing on here post. I'm I want to post a link to the blog, and you got 50 clicks. My heart was pounding. And yeah, I've been posting it to Blue Sky ever since, and it's been really great. I mean, everyone's super supportive, and people comment and share it. And I think that's where Mark Brown of Camden Chat found it. And he adds it to his bird droppings posts sometimes, which I really appreciate. And it's allowed me to connect with a lot of Orioles fans, which I've really enjoyed, including you guys. And I was going to say, you guys mentioned the golden age of blog. I think the second episode of yours I listened to was the Bevies column. And it was a nostalgia attack where it's I remember that site. And you were bringing all these people back. So that was fun. I really liked it.
Getting introduced to this show by the Bevies is not a good
experience. That's an introduction by fire.
I stuck with it. I was
that's rough. The fact that you listened to a second one is surprising.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that people are sharing your links and responding well is because the writing is excellent. The perspective is excellent. I really do enjoy fans who are passionate, who have a perspective, who have a very confident voice which comes across very clearly in your writing. And it's absolutely worth people who are interested in the Orioles adding to their cachet, a place where they get not news, but perspective. And I feel like that's the nice thing about whether it's a blog or a podcast or whatever, is that people that are passionate about the thing that you're creating content about, they'll make space for you. They'll continue to read and whatnot. So a couple of very important questions.
Yes.
The first is this.
Super detailed.
Well, this one's actually content.
Yeah.
First question is, cards on the table. Let's pull out the crystal ball. How satisfied or disappointed do you think you're going to be come opening day about the offseason?
I think I'm going to be satisfied. I think they're going to get, there's no way they can't get the starter. And that's the most important thing for me. Like, it's got to be this, they can't do it.
Why
Yeah,
would you
you're
put
looking at
that
each
into
other
the
like they
universe?
can't.
Why would you say it like that?
Don't say, there's no way they can't.
They can't do it. Like, they might as well fold up shop if they don't do it.
So
Like,
what are you doing?
You just double down.
And so as much as like in the rubric where I'm like, I need a top starter, I need a mid starter, I need reliever, like, just give me the starter. Just
Don't
Please.
lower
And then-
your
and then
standards.
we'll go
Hold
from
their
there.
feet to the fire. My God, you gave them the rubric.
I know, I'm a softie.
The
But,
Orioles are not
yeah,
the thing to be
I
soft
do think
about,
they
my
need
friend.
two, for the record. I don't even know if I ever got that out. They need two.
They need
starters.
two. You, I think, posted about that on Blue Sky. This is like, listen, it's got to be two. This whole thing about one is not going to work. So
Look, you're no better. You immediately went to B+.
I think they're going to do less than B+. I think they're going to be in this like B- C+ world. And it's going to be like, gah, like, what are we doing again? And then the thing is going to be like, well, nothing came together. We're going to look at the trade deadline and see if we can pull something together at that point. That's 4 months of nothing. So good luck.
That's a good point. Like, acquiring really good talent is super hard. Like, there
Sure.
are teams every year with tons of money that come up empty. Like, how long was that the joke with the Blue Jays, that they were
Yeah.
offering millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and people were like, I'm all set. And the Giants and I think the Red Sox have had a lot of off seasons like that, and like, those teams are richer than us. So
We've got Magna Carta money. We can buy two pitchers.
Yeah.
I have to say that I have to abstain, I think, from this because I'm so butthurt.
You're so butthurt and cynical at this
I'm
point.
so emotionally damaged from last offseason that I am locked into this cynicism about the Orioles and the not trying thing that I need to step away from expectation, because otherwise I'm just going to grind my anger into a diamond.
Yeah.
But you expect to be satisfied with whatever it is that they provide you. Do you?
well, see, I think I'm in a similar place to you, where like I've been worn down to the point where, like, even when I set an expectation to be like, you have to reach this, and they don't, I'm like, okay. Like, so that's not great.
No, that is not great.
It's not great.
What the Orioles have done to us spiritually is not great. Which is a great segue for the next and most crucial, important question. We usually do this at the beginning of every interview.
Yes.
We failed miserably. We have to ask you, what is your drink of the week?
Drink of the week, might cause a snag here. It's like an ice cold Diet Coke.
We'll accept
Yeah.
that
There's
answer.
nothing wrong with that.
We absolutely accept that answer.
Yeah.
Take no shame for the Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And the last question that we ask each guest, and this is important, and this will
Make or break.
this is the data on which we judge you as a guest, as a person, as a human, and it is this: when it comes down to it, Beatles or Stones?
Oh man. Oh, what's the right answer? Well, I know what my answer is. I'm worried you're going to be sad about it. It's Beatles for me.
Oh, that's the perfect answer.
Okay,
I got it.
It's absolutely the perfect answer.
The only right answer.
It feels like if you're asking though, you would want it to be Stones, because I feel like it's Beatles pretty clearly.
Not for most baseball writers and or interviewers.
Really?
So
The weirdest response we got was Ryan Wagner, the former PA announcer, responded with the Kinks.
the Kinks, which I love the Kinks, but not in the same level of Beatles and Stones. So
It was still the wrong answer.
yeah, still the wrong answer.
I'm glad I got that one.
You got the right answer. You are requiring the right things of the Orioles, when you're not giving them a pass. You have
I
given
know, I'm
them
sorry.
you've given them a rubric, with which we can keep this off season. But more than that, I think you're giving Birdland a great resource to read amazing stuff. Again, where can readers and listeners find you all over the interwebs?
Yeah, so it's pretty centralized. I mean, it's just the blog is thedishwasher.blog. And then on Blue Sky, I'm the dishwasher at bluesky.social, I believe is how they do those tags. And that's the whole thing.
Simple as that. Well, Nathan, thanks so much for joining us on Bird's Eye View. And we look forward to talking to you in the future to see if you were satisfied maybe this spring. All right, Jake, I'm going to go ahead and blow the save. It's been award season, and I don't think there's been too many surprises, and I don't think there was really any huge surprises tonight, except for my disdain of how did Cal Raleigh get gypped in terms of getting the AL MVP against. Once again, Aaron Judge was named as the AL MVP, and look, I get it. Judge had a great season. There's no doubt about that. Judge is an amazing player. He is a super talented individual. But how do you not look at a catcher who hit 60 home runs as a switch hitter as well, propel the Mariners into the postseason? I just don't get it. If you're just going to be like, well, we're going to go ahead and recognize the person with the most amount of WAR, that's fine. But like, I feel like you have to look at if Cal Raleigh is not on the Mariners are not a playoff team. If Aaron Judge is not on the Yankees, more than likely the Yankees are not a playoff team. But there's other talent around Judge that I think propels them. I'm not disgusted by it, but I'm a little annoyed is the best way to describe it. Is it right for me to be annoyed, or is this me just harping on the Yankees?
I think both are acceptable.
Okay.
But let me ask you this. If he wasn't on the Mariners, do you think he gets more flowers?
I don't think so. I think people just look at Judge and they look at the performance that Judge continues to put up every single season and the consistency and the fact that he is in New York. And I think that helps. But like, I just look at Raleigh and just being like, if you go play the outfield, you're already going to get a defensive position adjustment. And Judge is certainly an above average defender. There's no doubt about that. But like, Raleigh is behind the plate. He's helping that great pitching staff in Seattle. And he's still going out there and hitting 60 home runs. To me, that's your MVP. You have to look at the entire contribution as it relates to the team and not just the individual WAR metric. And again, I think they were neck and neck. I think Raleigh was slightly behind from a Judge standpoint. I just really would have hoped that the writers would have been like, yeah, Judge is really good, but we're going to go ahead and give it to Raleigh because of what he did for the Mariners organization, and not just continue to be like, well, Judge is a really good player.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, I clearly can't be unbiased about a New York Yankee. I do wonder how much the voters consider things like, I'm going to have plenty of chances to vote for Judge for MVP.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the only season that that Riley has a true MVP caliber season.
Yeah, I who knows? And again, we don't know what Raleigh is going to do, but you look at Judge's numbers and it was, ridiculous this year. I mean, it was 53 home runs, 331 on average, 457 on base percentage, good for a 204 weighted runs created plus, and a 10.1 WAR. Clearly, like, great season, top of Major League Baseball's. But then you look at Cal Raleigh, like 60 home runs, 359 average. And then again, defensively, he posted some ridiculous defensive numbers behind the plate too. Good for a 9.1 FWAR. Like, to me, I look at this and I say, I feel like you have to kind of reward Raleigh for being on a mid-market team here if you're able to basically be neck and neck with Judge. Both two amazing seasons, but I think Raleigh got cheated here. That's my personal opinion.
It does suck to have a 9.1 WAR season and not
get it.
I'll ask you this. Mm-hmm. What did the Bird's Eye View official sportsbook have on the MVP race?
They had Grayson Rodriguez finishing in top 3 in American League MVP, so we did not do so well.
Well, there's always next year.
There's always next year.
There's always next year. And that is our show. Remember, you can find this in our entire catalog of indispensable episodes at birdseyeviewbaltimore.com.
Bird's Eye View is available for download wherever it is you get your podcast. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast, YouTube Music, and YouTube apparently, Spotify, and many others. Please remember to rate and review the show. We appreciate the feedback. It encourages other people to listen for the first time. And if you are listening on Spotify, maybe consider trying a different platform unless you're really down with that nice stuff.
Come and get social with us. You can email us at contact@birdseyeviewbaltimore.com. You can find us all over social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Snapchat, and while it's still legal to do so, although I think they've resolved that, We're on the Ticks and the Talks.
Allegedly.
But we're settling in very nicely, thank you very much, over at Orioles Blue Sky, where we skeet at Bird's Eye View, BAL. And with that, Baltimore and beyond, I will bid you all a fond adieu, adieu.
Good night, Baltimore. Be safe out there, and let's go O's.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Free audio post-production.